Hi, thank you for joining me for another process video today. So continuing on with the hip kit, and have that photo there of my husband and my two children dressed up on for an activity day at church when they were really little, and I'm going to scrapbook that one. So I would guess that the ages of them in this photo are 4 and 6. So quite a long while ago, seeing though they are now 17 and 16. Well, my daughter is nearly 18. This week she'll be 18. So 18 and 16. So I've decided that, seeing though this is a fun photo, it needs some fun paper, and what better paper to use than that beautiful coloured Starburst paper. So I have chosen that one, and I was looking for a piece of paper that would coordinate with that, and I have used, and I can't tell you right now, actually it's the back of the map print is that beautiful orange piece of paper. So I've matted half of the photo underneath that, and I'm going to start off pretty much straight away choosing my title this time. So I've thought that I was going to call it My Clowns, and later on I looked through the little box of ephemera and I see a little 3 circle element, so I've called it My 3 Clowns. So I, once again, same process, going through the pack of papers and looking to see what elements I can pull out. So the pieces of paper that I'm looking at today, the colours, I'm going for the little tickets and things with more of the orange tones in them. And I think that I have pulled out 2 stickers from the Chamel sticker book, and I have used those as well, and a couple of sequin little, what are they called, wood veneers, like little, they're not enamel dots, sequin wood veneer, yeah, that's what they are, and I've used them as well. So they're the only things not from the actual main kit from the hip kit. They are extras that I've bought in from my stash. So at the moment I'm off screen, but I'm cutting out this little arrow that I was going to use out of one of the 4x6 cards, but as you will see I didn't end up using it all. But I do use that little piece there that I just tucked underneath. So working out placement here of title and just playing around and seeing where I like things to go. So I've been asked whether I usually have a plan when I start, if I have thought about it, and if I am going off a design piece of paper, or whether I'm just going from my head. And usually I pretty much just go from my head. So what you see is my process. I find a photo and I choose a piece of paper to go with the photo, and or the other way around. I'll have a piece of paper in mind that I really like and I will choose a photo to go with that, and then from there I just start. So this is, you're seeing how I work, and it's pretty much the same every single time. I think that I have worked off a like a page map maybe once in my scrapbooking life. Didn't particularly enjoy it, and so it's not something that I do, and this is the part that I actually like. So I actually like building up with no idea where the page is going to go and seeing the end result. Sometimes I might be inspired by a colour theme of a layout that I've seen, or maybe where I've seen somebody do a layout and I've liked certain elements, and I might have that in my mind that I'd like to try that, but mostly what you see is what you get, and I just go for it. And that's the part that I really enjoy, is not planning it out and just seeing what happens. So at the moment I wanted to get that title pretty straight, with the title pretty straight, and so I drew a line with a ruler. Most times I don't like to have things, necessarily straight. I don't mind if they're a little bit crooked, but I wanted to have this title reasonably straight. So I just drew a little line with a pencil, and then I rub it out a little bit later on. So there it is, my 3 clowns, and I am working from there. So making it a fun element, and I'll end up building up the top right hand side of the layout. So I had found, like I'd said in a previous process video, I found all these old photos that I hadn't scrapbooked yet. So that has been really fun, because I have run out of photos and I don't take as many anymore, or there's not as many photo opportunities probably anymore. And so it was fun to find all these old photos and to be able to scrapbook them, and to be able to relive some of the happy memories of when the children were little and when life was just different. So it was much more of a relaxed lifestyle, and whereas now it's pretty much the 4 of us, passing like ships in the night sometimes and leading busy lifestyles. So things were a little bit simpler then. So it's been fun to document those times and to create things around that. So I found that little film reel that was in the Chamel ephemera pack. So that was another thing that I had used extra from the main hip kit. So that wasn't actually in there. So I've just cut that apart and placed a piece at the top and a piece at the bottom as well. So that camera, the orange and blue camera, that was in the Chamel sticker sheet, and so I've popped that and the high circle up on some foam tape so that it can stand off the page a little bit. So just trying to work out exactly where I want those elements and where they're going to work for me. So sticking that piece down, and I'm trying to hide the fact that one end hasn't got a complete line. So I've tucked it underneath that Make Something Beautiful sticker, and then I strategically place the camera on top so that you can't see that it's not a full piece of paper. That part of the end is missing. So fiddling around there for a while. So as you can see, it doesn't always, the elements don't always come together easily. So it's not like you just place things down and the first place that you put them on the page is where you actually keep it. Like I've said before, I am a visual learner, and so therefore I like to see things visually before I plan them or commit to them. So moving things around the page gives me an idea of where I actually think it goes and where I could commit to keeping it. I hope that makes sense. I know I listen to myself sometimes and think, you're not making much sense, Jenny, but hopefully you get the gist of what I'm trying to say, and that you are following along with me. So just repeating that pattern, that film strip design up the top, and adding it to the bottom and giving some visual interest to the bottom left part of my layout as well. And as you'll see, that arrow keeps getting moved around and I'm desperately trying to make it work, but it hasn't worked yet. So I think it's the next layout that I make that I actually get to use that arrow. So here I'm just adding a little subtitle. So it says My 3 Clowns, and I'm writing You Are So Funny. So They are funny little people and they make me laugh all the time. So it's great to have people in your family who make you laugh, and all three of them do. So we have lots of fun together and lots of laughter. So I am one very lucky mum. Okay, so there I am, moving that around. Not sure when I decide that it's not going to work. Perhaps that was it then. And just put it to the side. And having a look at those stickers and trying to work out what else I can pull from there. But there's not really anything that I want to use today. And just cutting that little craft tag and popping that in there. Got some little vellum pieces, so they're really cute because you can still see through the back of them. And a few little tags that don't really mean anything, but they're a nice little colour and just add some extra visual interest to the page. And seeing what else I can tuck in that little gap over there on the left. So I had these little tags in the box that were like the little tickets you get when you're waiting at the deli. They were quite cute. And taking a look and thinking, yep, I think it's pretty much done, except for I've grabbed those little sequin wood veneers and I'm using them to add a little extra bit of craft colour to the page and to add something extra to look at. So I'm just gluing them down with a little bit of glossy accents, and I'm happy with where they are, and I'm happy with the layout. And so now I'm just adding my black spots and I'm finished. So thank you once again, and there are no stills at the end of this process video, but I will show you some close-ups now. And thank you for joining me once again, and I'll see you next video. Bye.